I wasn't even supposed to be there. A Friday night at a crowded bar, laughing, music buzzing, and suddenly my girlfriend said something that broke my life in half. She looked around the table, smiling, and said, "I'd rather die than marry him." That's when I realized some truths are louder than any argument you've had in private, and some moments decide everything in a single breath. Before we dive in, if you've ever felt underestimated, disrespected, or blindsided in a relationship, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment sharing what you would have done. Trust me, by the end, you'll have a strong opinion, and it won't be easy to watch. It was a Friday night like any other. The kind of night where nothing big is supposed to happen, and yet, life has a way of sneaking up on you. I was sitting at Sullivan's, a downtown pub with dim amber lights, scratched wooden floors, and TVs mounted way too high on walls. I had been with Melissa for 3 years, 3 solid, predictable, grown-up years. Bills shared, routines synchronized, inside jokes that lasted months, late-night talks about someday. I thought we were steady. I thought we were adults. Melissa was there with her friends, Karen, Linda, and a couple of others whose names blurred together over time. The room was buzzing with laughter and conversation, full of life and energy. I sipped on a beer, too expensive, half watching the basketball game, half listening. There was an odd calm in me, the kind of calm that comes when life finally feels settled. And then, Karen leaned forward with that grin, the one that always spelled trouble, and said, "So, when are you finally putting a ring on it?" The table went quiet for a fraction of a second, just long enough for the air to thicken. Adults notice that. A half second where everyone waits, hanging on a punchline. I had been thinking about it. Honestly, I had money saved, rings bookmarked late at night, browser history cleared. The question was fair. Melissa laughed. Not a nervous laugh. Not an awkward one. She laughed like it was the perfect punchline. Oh God, never. I'd rather die than marry him. It didn't blur. It didn't rush past me. Those words landed like a hammer to my chest. The room shifted. Karen's smile collapsed. Someone at the next table coughed. Glasses clinked nervously. My beer suddenly felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. I lowered my beer slowly. My hands didn't shake. My voice didn't tremble. That surprised even me. I looked at Melissa, calm, quiet, and said, "Interesting choice of words." Her smile flickered. "Relax, it's a joke," she said. I nodded once, took the last sip, and set the beer down. I stood up, pulled 2 20s from my wallet, and placed them on the table. More than enough. I looked at Karen and said, "Thanks for the question. It cleared a lot up. No isling, no yelling, no theatrics." I just walked out. Outside, my phone buzzed. Ignored. The streets I drove through felt unfamiliar, like I'd stumbled into someone else's life without permission. I could tea home. Silence hit harder than her words. My apartment, usually alive with chatter and shared routines, felt empty, lighter. My phone vibrated endlessly. Missed calls, texts, voicemails. Most from Melissa, some from her friends. A few numbers I didn't recognize. I read a few texts. Watched confusion turn to frustration. Frustration curdle into anger, then desperation. I sat back like an observer. Around 1 p.m., she called again. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Why are you acting like this?" she demanded. "You embarrass me." I didn't argue. I listened. That's the thing. Once clarity hits, you realize silence speaks louder than 1,000 words. "You didn't trip and fall into that sentence, Melissa. You laughed first," I said. There was silence. Then, softer. "Can we just talk in person?" "No, not necessary." I hung up, blocked her number, blocked another. Each block a small, quiet liberation. Monday came. Work, same commute, same office noises. My coworker Brian noticed immediately. "You look like a guy who didn't sleep much but isn't mad about it," he said, handing me coffee. "Interesting weekend," I replied. He nodded. "Melissa related?" "Past tense," I said. Life moved on externally, but internally, I was cataloging every detail. Every laugh, every look, every word gone from my narrative. Karen appeared midweek. She apologized, explained Melissa's behavior, and warned me she would try again. I simply said, "She can't." Every note, Every text, every call, every unexpected number, documented, blocked, archived. My apartment became mine again. My body, my mind, my time returned. Weeks passed. Silence thickened, but it was deliberate. Then, an online post appeared. Melissa spun herself as the hero, rewriting the story, claiming perseverance, forgiveness, and bravery. I felt a flicker of irritation, then nothing. I had moved past the need for drama. Reality had already settled. The life I was living was mine. Peace wasn't about revenge. It was about choosing myself. Eventually, our paths crossed again months later. Steakhouse, casual dinner with friends. She saw me. He saw her. She approached timidly, said the words she had rehearsed. "I am sorry. I finally understand what I lost." I nodded, calm, distant. Nothing more needed to be said. Freedom, not revenge, was my reward. The story isn't about anger. It's about clarity, about recognizing patterns, reclaiming your own space, and refusing to shrink yourself for someone else's entertainment. It's about the quiet strength that comes from walking away before shouting, before confrontation, before manipulation can take root. It's about realizing that one sentence, one joke, one careless laugh can reveal a person's true values and give you permission to protect your own. The power wasn't in confrontation. The power was in choosing stillness over chaos, clarity over confusion, and self-respect over manipulation. Melissa's regret, her audience, her apologies, irrelevant. What mattered was my life, undisturbed, unclaimed, and fully my own. Relationships are built on honesty, respect, and choice. When someone chooses casual cruelty over commitment, clarity comes not from anger, but from standing still, observing, and walking away deliberately. Life doesn't always give dramatic endings. Sometimes the most powerful choice is the quietest one: peace. If this story hit close to home, hit like, leave a comment sharing what you would have done, and subscribe for more real-life Reddit relationship stories. Remember, clarity, peace, and self-respect are always worth more than the chaos someone else creates.